Good evening, traders. This is another video about DAX. It is the recap for October the 30th to see what kind of trading opportunities we had today and to look for the scenarios and ideas for the next period. As always, this in front of us is the updated chart that I have posted in this morning before the open, and it was pre-market was already trading, and this here was a gap up. Then I said what was the main support zone here, and then the main resistance zone is for 395 to 440. And now what was this first opportunity? This first opportunity was exactly the same kind of opportunities like we already had in the recent days, and I emphasize that particularly in one of the videos. You can find it on YouTube, with gap and go into support or gap and go into resistance kind of situation. This is a repetitive setup that you can use over and over again. The kind of the environment that we are trading now is bearish, and you had a gap up and go into the main resistance of the day. As the late Mark Douglas would say, when the pattern presents themselves, there is absolutely nothing to think about it. You just execute. You're already there. You don't question this. You're here with your order and you're shorting in this because you're, I will say again, in the bearish environment, you have a situation of gap and go into the main resistance for day. And of course there will be some kind of reaction. And the worst thing that can happen to you is to lose a -1 hour. In this trade, you can get a fill in the middle of the zone, and with the stop, let's say you are shorting around 410 level, stop goes to 450, like 40 point stop, and from 410 you could take 150 points, more than 3 times your risk. Now it wouldn't be anything bad if you would just close this short as it comes through this minor zone and test cash close and pre-market low. As I said many times, it is a good thing to draw after the pre-market is over, to draw yourself 2 additional lines representing pre-market highs and pre-market lows. It is also good to take note of the first hour, and maybe also to draw lines about first hour low and first hour high. That could also be references for you. And another thing, I am encouraging you to to start drawing, to use lines in your chart. Now this here and this here isn't a channel. These 2 lines are not parallel. I draw this just as a reference. So this was the first opportunity and the best opportunity for today, because the RTH session is over, and now DAX is just shopping around doing this absolute same thing like the US markets. After this zone was falsely broken of this zone of support, which was representing the Friday's high, and the price moved again up to the cash close and pre-market low. And as you can see, once the pre-market low and cash close were breached, the whole action was below that. That is also a sign of weakness. All price action is below pre-market low. And this here and this here was again opportunities to go short. Then on a smaller time frame, there is another trend line that I have showed on Twitter in real time, and it was this trend line here. As you can imagine, on on a bearish environment, people are trying to find the reasons where to go short, and they will go short. You see this on 1 minute chart, double tops, and every top was a reaction to the downside. Now here you can observe this line as I'm sure you know that for the line you need 2 dots to make it, and this was the third, fourth test. On fifth test it was broken line, and this was the back test of this line, and then that was another, let's say, advanced opportunity to go short again. I'm not talking about opportunities to go long whatsoever, because in my opinion there wasn't any good opportunities to go long. Price action, as you can see, is very choppy. This zone was, by this movement through it and through it and through it and through it, invalidated. So we will not use this zone for tomorrow. There will be another zones. As you can see, this is now some kind of trading range, and these lines here, if we look at them at the 4-hour chart, it's kinda another bear flag. Observe how price was moving from here, breaking this balance, making bear flag, testing it, breaking it, making bear flag, going lower, and now all of this could be another bear flag, which is much larger than these previous ones, meaning that it could really start a good move if this flag is going to be broken to the downside. And this hole that I was talking about for many weeks started to fill, and it has filled partially. Maybe there going to be a test of this level. Also note that I put another reference point. It is this, representing the 20% move from the all-time high. Basically below this, if you hold the price below this reference point for some time, you're entering a bear market. But since this is very close, to this 800 level, it can, price can go here to the visible level of support and then make some kind of a bounce. We shall see about that. On daily chart, really nothing has changed. This area of resistance, as you can see clearly on the daily chart, also was tested 2 times, and we are also not only in some kind of bear flag, in some kind of range, but only if you look at cash. If you look at the cash chart, we are trading currently between 2 untested gaps. One is recent gaps from October 20 to 22nd, and the other one is a really old gap from December 2016. So we are here now, and price is coiling at the moment. As I said, the week in which you have the NFP announcement, which is due to be released on Friday, that week usually can be like this. Ranges are contracting, and remember that every contracting leads to expanding, and expanding leads to contracting. So, alright, that was it for me for this DAX video. All opportunities for today was to go short in alignment with the movement from the larger time frames. I wish you good trading and good night.